You have a job, a stable paycheck, maybe benefits, maybe a respectable title. From the outside, your life looks responsible, organized, safe. But inside, there's a quiet tension. Money still causes stress. Savings never feel enough. And the future feels uncertain even though you did everything you were told to do. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of people across the United States feel financially uneasy while holding stable jobs. They wake up early, commute, work long hours, and still feel like they're falling behind. Most people assume this means they're failing. They blame themselves. They think they need more discipline. They think they need a higher salary. But here's the truth most people never hear. The problem is not that you don't earn money. The problem is that you were never taught how money actually works. We were educated to be productive, but not to be financially intelligent. We were trained to earn income, not to convert income into security. And that misunderstanding silently shapes people's entire lives. From a very young age, we're taught a simple life formula. Go to school. Get good grades. Find a stable job. Earn a paycheck. Repeat for decades. For a long time, this formula worked. But the economy changed and the education system didn't. A paycheck feels safe because it's predictable. It arrives on schedule. And predictability creates comfort. Comfort lowers awareness. When income feels stable, people stop paying attention. Spending slowly increases. Lifestyle upgrades feel justified. Subscriptions multiply quietly. At the same time, inflation raises prices every year. Interest compounds silently on credit cards and loans. Taxes take their share before money even touches your hands. Nothing feels urgent. Nothing breaks suddenly. And that's exactly why people don't realize what's happening until they feel stuck. They're not broke. But they're not building wealth. They're working harder just to maintain the same lifestyle. This is the paycheck illusion, confusing consistent income with financial control. Debt almost never starts as a bad decision. It starts as a solution. A credit card for emergencies. A loan to handle life. Financing to make things easier right now. And at first, it works. But without understanding how interest and repayment systems function, debt grows faster than income. Minimum payments stretch for years. Future paychecks get pre-spent before you earn them. This is how people become trapped without realizing it. They don't feel poor, but they don't feel free. Debt slowly removes options. It limits flexibility. It steals future time. And then the stress appears. Sleepless nights. Constant mental math. A background anxiety that never fully goes away. That stress isn't just emotional, it's physical. Your body understands the danger before your mind does. That constant pressure isn't weakness. It's a warning signal. You're earning money, but you don't control it. And when money controls your choices, freedom disappears. Here's something counterintuitive. Making more money does not automatically solve financial stress. Many people get raises, promotions, or better jobs and still feel stuck. Why? Because behavior doesn't change with income. Systems don't change with income. Understanding doesn't magically appear with income. Lifestyle inflation absorbs raises. Taxes increase. Debt expands to match earnings. Without financial education, higher income often means higher pressure. Real financial stability is not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. How intentionally you spend. How dependent you are on debt. How prepared you are for uncertainty. When you understand money, you stop reacting and start directing. You build emergency buffers. You reduce reliance on credit. You make decisions with intention instead of fear. Even an average income can create peace when managed with clarity. True financial security is quiet. It doesn't look flashy. It doesn't depend on constant income. It doesn't disappear after one emergency. It looks like control. Control over spending. Control over debt. Control over future choices. When you understand money, fear begins to fade. You stop living paycheck to paycheck even if you still have a job. You stop letting money dictate your mental health. The system didn't force anyone, but it never taught the rules either. Once you learn those rules, everything changes. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to chase risky shortcuts. You just need awareness. Because real financial freedom doesn't begin with earning more money. It begins with understanding money and choosing not to let it quietly control your life.